What's up, guys? So the Crowfall beta has just started up, and I wanted to make a video talking about a few things to keep in mind as you begin to learn the game. This is by no means a guide, mainly just a few bullet points to keep in mind as you begin to play the game. So the first thing I recommend you do before you even log in is to start your skill training. You'll see this at the top of the screen as you go to create a character. You'll see a tab called skills. Click on that. I recommend that you train combat basics and exploration basics first. Now, you may end up deciding that you want to be a crafter later, and you'll change that exploration basics to crafting basics, and then on further on down the line to a more specific crafting type. But at the very start, I recommend you just do exploration basics because you can't really go wrong with that. And the same with combat basics, you can't really go wrong with that. So I recommend you start training those two at the start. Start training those right away. Do not wait. Those skills train over real world time, like EVE Online. So you don't actively do anything for those. You just come back a week later and you'll have a better skill in whatever you're training. So that's how that works. Another thing to keep in mind as you begin to level up in this game, group up. Grouping up is super overpowered for leveling in this game, and I like that. You need to get people in the mindset of grouping with players. Unfortunately, a lot of MMO players are very solo-oriented because the genre has just been warped into this hellscape. But group up, please. It's so OP. You get 100% of experience for killing something. So that you get the same experience for killing something by yourself as you do in a group of 5. So you want to group up. There's probably going to be a lot of people leveling in the God's Reach zone, so there might be some mob competition. Why compete for mobs when you can share them, kill them faster, and do it faster? Just group up. There's no reason not to. If you see somebody killing stuff that you're killing, invite them. There's no reason not to. They can loot something that you wanted. They could potentially steal your loot, but in God's Reach, you're not going to care about that loot for very long. I mean, not very long at all, so don't worry about that. Next thing, so once you get done with God's Reach, you're level 30, any gear you don't have, let's say you're a leatherware, and you're missing a chest piece, go to the vendor and buy a chest piece. There are vendors in the temple that sell leather, chain, and plate gear. Just buy whatever you don't have filled. Fill that slot. Now, the vendor armor is actually very competitive early game, and it's actually competitive for a really long time, so absolutely buy that vendor armor, buy those vendor weapons if the vendor weapons are better than what you've got, and you'll, over time, just fill those slots as you kill more War Tribe stuff, as you make friends, and your buddy's like, I got a pistol, you want it? You'll eventually get rid of that stuff, and it's really, the vendor gear is not bad at all. In fact, a large percentage of my armor is vendor-bought armor at this point, and, eventually you're going to replace it, but absolutely buy it right away. Next thing, now this, I should have put this first, but I don't want to keep harping on it. Find a guild. I mean, there are going to be a lot of guilds recruiting now. A lot of people are going to be bumping up their numbers. There's going to be a lot of new guilds starting, a lot of old guilds coming back, a lot of old guilds looking to bump their numbers up. Absolutely. Throughout this entire process, keep your eye out for a guild. Go to the guild forums. Look around. Joining a guild is the easiest way to learn this game. The MPE is great. Yeah, that'll help you some. Looking at YouTube guides, looking at my videos, that might help you some a little bit. But the easiest, absolute best way to learn the game is to just join a guild and be in a Discord server with, 10 other guys playing the game. If you have a question, you go, hey, does anybody know blah, blah, blah? Somebody will probably know it. I've been playing this game for a long time, and I ask questions constantly in my Discord. Having the hive mind of your guild is invaluable. So do that. Your guild is going to give you a sense of direction. When you go into Crowfall, there's so many things you can do. What do you do? So that joining a guild will give you some sense of direction. Even if it's the wrong direction, you'll figure it out. As long as you get on a path, you'll eventually figure out the right path. That's kind of the way I like to think about it. And lastly, take it slow. Now, I've been playing this game since, I believe, 2015, since the very first pre-alpha concept test, when the whole world was gray and they had 3 characters and they couldn't run straight. I mean, it was like the characters literally didn't run straight. It was crazy. So, take it slow. There's a lot to learn, and you just can't learn. I've been playing the game for 5 years now, throughout every iteration, through every single feature being added, and I still don't know everything. I still am constantly asking questions. I don't know hardly anything about the crafting. It's pretty embarrassing. But that's why another good, to go back to the last point, you need to find a guild, because naturally people in your guild are going to specialize. There's going to be the blacksmith guy, there's going to be the PvP guy, there's going to be the PvP champion guy, the PvP assassin guy, whatever. There's going to be people that, you know, specialize in something, and you'll be able to ask them questions rather than having to know everything, because knowing everything is just impossible. So take it slow. Do not try to figure out everything. Don't try to do everything all at once. Just, it's okay to be a noob. It really is. In terms of playing classes, honestly, a lot of the classes have really opened up. Play what you're interested in. A recent balance pass has opened up a ton of promotions that weren't very good. A lot of the CC specs in a previous build were not very good and were kind of dead specs. A lot of those promotions are back. Some things are better than others, but it's beta. There's going to be balance passes going on all the time, so playing the thing that is really good right now might not be really good after it gets nerfed or some other things get buffed. So play what you're interested in. There's definitely some things that I think maybe more advanced players, like the assassin, I would sort of... I know a lot of people like to jump in and play the assassin, but if you're going to play the assassin, be ready for a challenge. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world with the lunging daggers change, but I mean, it's not easy. It's really not easy. So that one and the Vanguard Scout, I would say maybe wait until you've played the game a little bit longer. I do think situationally they can be good, but I wouldn't jump right into those two. So, yeah, main thing with the take it slow point is it's okay to be a noob. Embrace the fact that Crowfall is not a solved MMO. Crowfall, with it not being a theme park PvE MMO, it's much more difficult to solve the game and figure out that, hey, this thing is the best for this particular, like, this thing is the best, it is better than this no matter what, right? Perfect example is the Fae, right? The Fae have wings. They can double jump and glide. There's a lot of situations where double jumping and gliding is dumb. Like, you're better off playing the race that has the higher stats. But there's some times where double jumping and gliding is amazing, when you can jump on the roof, or you can glide down out of the canyon, or you can glide into a keep through a rock. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy situations where it's amazing, but then there's also times where it's useless. So that's a lot of what Crowfall is. There's a lot of stuff that seems really OP, but it's actually not. And there's a lot of stuff that's not really, that doesn't seem very good at all, but it's actually crazy in some situations. So embrace that, and just sort of I guess give into it a little bit. So Crowfall, it's okay to be a noob. Just don't be a noob by yourself. Do not isolate yourself and refuse to make new friends and refuse to join a guild. Don't do that. You're going to have a lot of fun, even if you find just a bad group. Even if you're in a bad guild is way more fun than no guild at all. Don't be elitist about it. You're going to have a good time if you just open your social circle up. And I know a lot of MMOs have sort of made it easy for us to stay in our own little bubble and be comfortable. And yes, meeting new people and joining new guilds and whatever is a little uncomfortable at first. But I promise you, if you just rip the band-aid off and just do it, you're going to have a lot more fun than if you didn't. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're interested in Crowfall, be sure to sign up with my referral link down in the description. If you sign up with that link, you will get a discount if you decide to buy in. You also do get into the beta for free if you sign up with that link down below. Unfortunately, there's about 400,000 people ahead of you in line. So if you didn't sign up 2 years ago, it might be a little bit of time, but I have no idea how fast they're inviting people. So, but if you do want to buy in immediately, you get a discount. So that's what that is. Hope you sign up down below. We got nothing to lose. So do that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.